Hearty congratulations to the brilliant ISRO scientists and engineers on the successful launch landing of Chandrayaan and the Vikram lander and the rover. And also congratulations to the nation. It's a matter of national pride, the Chandrayaan-3. As I thought about this, I realized that there is some amount of connection between the Chandrayaan-3 project and the Shankara project. In fact, as I thought about it, there seemed to be a lot of connection between these two projects. So you may wonder, how can an archaeologist talk about the Chandrayaan project? How does he have the knowledge to talk about it? And how can he even connect these two projects in disparate fields? And in fact, you may wonder, how does he have the audacity to do something like this? So let me tell you briefly something about myself, which will help clarify this. So I would like to say that my doctorate was in large array space antennas from New York University, and I did a lot of work in aerospace and spacecraft technology, space colonies, and the like. So much so that way back then in 1990, I was awarded the Space Industrialization Fellow Award for the year 1990, and written about in who's who in science and engineering even back then. Now, from there on, I moved to the world of computational fluid dynamics, very high-end simulation. I worked in a very renowned company called Fluent Incorporated in this beautiful place, Lebanon, New Hampshire, where I individually contributed in the area of materials processing simulation, and then led a team to work on fiber optics, manufacturing simulation, blast furnace simulation, polymer processing, extrusion, coatings, and the like. Later on, I left the shores of the US, gave up my green card, came to India, and here I set up one of the most high technology companies, I would say, in India, and built a dream campus for over 400 engineers and scientists working in the area of initially computational fluid dynamics, and over a period of time incrementally in the area of finite element analysis, stress analysis, mechanical simulations, nonlinear simulations, electromagnetic simulations, and also multiphysics simulation, by which I mean interoperability and also combining multiple physics within a common simulation. This led to the next chapter in my life, where I was given charge of the global university or the academic program of one of the largest simulation companies in the world, where I interacted with universities worldwide and helped them achieve or work on three things. First was to make their students much more employable, help them get good placements, make the students much sought after. Secondly, increase the research output of universities and specifically engineering schools. I can't say universities. And the third thing was to help the engineering schools get up in the worldwide global rankings and standings. So I worked with the top schools in India. Here you see a nano satellite simulation. Cornell University, their racing team, also with also universities in Europe, like here is some work at Dortmund University, and also in South Asia, Southeast Asia. I would say that this was a very successful program where I set up a physical master's program in computational fluid dynamics in India, and then also worked with my colleagues in Europe to set up an international online master's program in simulation. So you may appreciate that I have some background in the area of engineering, especially in the area of space applications, and also very high-end computer simulations across many disciplines and physics. Now, at the age of 52, I purposely quit industry and wrote entrance exams to join the very famous Deccan College Postgraduate Research Institute, which is the premier archaeology university, or rather the heritage university in India. And there I worked on a variety of topics, completed my degree, the postdoctoral fellowship, worked on, mainly on Maharishi Patanjali, the Yogam Sutrakara and the Mahabhashyakara, also on the evolution of Nataraja worship in Chidambaram. So this was a 7-year period where I did all this work, and then worked on Naga worship, and also studying the iconography of Patanjali Maharishi. A lot of work in several areas that I did. And that gave me some solid background in archaeology and Indology, after which I began my studies on Adi Shankara. And this is the reason why I would like to compare the Chandrayaan project and the Adi Shankara project. Both are and should be a matter of national pride. Each has, see, the outcome here in the Chandrayaan mainly is to find out the presence of water molecules in the southern polar surface of the moon. Whereas, if in the case of Adi Shankara, we are really trying to unearth all the artifacts and the various objects associated with him, the structures associated with him, and construct a real biography of him. Now, both these projects are spread over many, many years. The cost of the Chandrayaan project is said to be about 615 crores, whereas the Shankara project will be only 1.14% of that, at about 7 crores or so. But what I'm trying to tell you is that both these projects have intangible benefits. In the case of the water molecules on the moon, this is something that we will use much down the road, many, many generations down the road, where we would be considering, full colonization and full settlements, lunar colonies, and things like that. I'm having worked on it. I'm just giving you my opinion. So you may wonder, that is fine. We may use some of this from the Chandrayaan project, including some spin-offs, employment generation, etc. What the hell are we going to achieve with this Adi Shankara project? And that's where I want to share my thoughts with you. See, as the Honorable Prime Minister has said, the nation is driving towards, development at a breakneck speed now, to becoming the third largest economy in the world. And in these situations, or in this situation, it would be particularly beneficial to sometimes not pause, but sometimes look in the rear view mirror, as we do when we are driving at high speed on a highway. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, we really ought to take a close look at our heritage, the past, our structures, our sites, our history, and save these things and research them. And specifically, I mean, in this case, that of Adi Shankara. And what would be the benefit of that? The benefit of that would be that as a nation, as we understand our past, we would be able to march forward much more in unison, much more better towards the larger goals that our nation is aspiring towards. And for that specifically, my uh, request, my urge to the nation and to people listening to this is that, like the Chandrayaan project, we ought to institute a national Shankara mission or a national Shankara project, which will help us achieve the goals. This is not something that can be done by an individual. It will have to be done by multiple people, multiple organizations, just like we set up when we build a satellite. It is not something that an individual does, but many, many groups, many people get together, contractors from outside get together and assemble a satellite before it's brought into a clean room. Having seen some of that, I would say that we need a similar approach to Adi Shankara to take this forward. And I hope there will be people coming forward to work together to make this national Adi Shankara mission possible That, I will say, would contribute in a big way. It would be at least a cog in the wheel, not in a big way, to marching ahead towards our national goals. Thank you very much.